Alright, let's talk about the Megabonk characters, because not all of them are built the same, and if you've spent even a few minutes in this game, you already know that. Some characters are absolute monsters that can carry you straight to the top of the leaderboard, while others, well, let's just say they make the game a little more challenging. In this tier list, we're breaking down who's dominating the meta right now, and who might need to hit the training grounds for a bit. Now keep in mind, the meta in Megabonk moves fast. One patch and everything can flip upside down. Right now, Dicehead is still crushing it like a total boss, while CL4NK just got a few buffs to make those early game runs less painful. So whether you're grinding for leaderboard glory or just looking for your next main, stick around. This list will help you pick the right character for your next big run. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking characters in Megabonk. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of tier list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching.
My friends, only 0.1% of viewers subscribe. If you like this type of content, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you in advance for your support.
The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Athena, Vlad, Bandit, Fox, Spaceman, and Sir Chadwell. You ever have that moment when you pick a character and immediately regret your life choices? Yeah, welcome to C tier. The land of cool ideas, questionable execution. These Megabonk characters aren't bad per se, but they definitely make you work for every single win. Let's dive in, because some of these heroes are basically doing the hard mode challenge without telling you. Let's start with Athena, the wannabe goddess of please drop me a good tome. Her Aegis can actually turn into a solid shield and damage combo if you stack attack speed, size, and shield tomes, but getting there is like climbing a mountain made of bad luck. Sure, aura or axe weapons can help her survive until tier 2, and farming Athena's shrine can give you some juicy silver and buffs later on. But the early game? Oh boy, weak damage, slow movement, and a need for perfect positioning. If you get bad drops, you might as well start praying to the real gods. Then there's Vlad, our blood-soaked drama king. On paper, he sounds cool, said blood magic synergy, power grows with each boss fight, and all that. And to be fair, when the fight drags on, he can pop off. The problem, outside of his specific blood builds, Vlad just kind of stands there. He's like that one guy who insists on playing a niche Dungeons & Dragons class and refuses to admit it's not working. Specialized? Yes. Strong? No. Now Bandit. Oh, Bandit. Fun. Absolutely. Practical? Not even close. His main weapon is great if you invest a ton into luck, which, let's be real, most players won't. His attack speed, passive can work with the right items, but that just limits your creativity. And don't get me started on his movement. Dodging with Bandit feels like driving a shopping cart with one broken wheel. Fox, on the other hand, is the chaos gremlin of Megabonk. You can accidentally reach ridiculous speeds using bunny hop and slide mechanics, and when it works, it's hilarious. The problem is everything else. You need insane luck to get good builds, and even then, other characters would just do it better. Plus, Fox is basically made of paper. One bad hit, and poof, back to the menu. Fast, fragile, and frustrating. That's Fox in a nutshell. And then we meet Spaceman, a character who feels like he was designed during a zero-gravity brainstorming session. The black hole weapon is a neat idea, and if you manage to upgrade it enough, it can control crowds decently. He's also supposed to gain passive experience points, but that's currently bugged and gives silver instead. Yay? Unfortunately, his black hole fires every 7 seconds, does laughable damage, and shrinks your aura size to a quarter. Combine that with his floaty movement and frustrating shrine mechanics, and you've got one of the weakest unlocks in the game. Sir Chadwell joins the chat, looking all noble and confident, until you realize his sword hits like a wet noodle. Sure, his movement feels smoother than you'd expect for a knight, but that corrupted sword, underpowered and unimpressive. Considering how tough it is to even unlock him, you'd expect some fireworks. Instead, you get a sparkler. He just doesn't scale well into late game, leaving you wondering why you even bothered. You know what ties all these characters together? Potential. They could be great if only the stars aligned, the drops were kind, and the devs sprinkled in a few buffs. But right now, they're the underdogs. The ones you pick when you want to prove a point. I beat tier 2 with Spaceman. Okay buddy, but at what cost? If you love suffering in style though, there's fun to be had. Athena's shield combos can look awesome when they finally come together. Vlad's blood build is like a ticking time bomb of chaos. And Fox flying across the map at Mach 3 is the kind of comedy you can't script. Sometimes it's not about being the strongest, it's about surviving the madness. That said, these C-tier heroes remind us of one simple truth. Not every experiment hits the jackpot. Sometimes you just end up with a cosmic janitor, a tired knight, or a fox that needs a seatbelt. But hey, if you manage to win with them, you earn that victory. You suffer for it. You deserve it. So next time you load up Megabonk and feel like testing your patience, give one of these C-tier warriors a shot. Just maybe keep a stress ball nearby. You'll thank me later. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Monkey, Ogre, Ninja, and Noel. You know those characters that aren't amazing, but somehow keep finding a way to stay relevant? That's the B tier gang. The hey, not bad crew of Megabonk. They won't carry you to easy victories like the A or S tier legends, but they've got enough tricks up their sleeves to make you go, okay, maybe this could work. Let's talk about these surprisingly solid, yet occasionally frustrating, mid-tier heroes. Starting off with Monkey, the banana-loving acrobat who just refuses to play by the rules of gravity. His ability to wall climb and leap across arenas gives him some of the most unique movement in the game. Add in the banana size or quantity bonuses, and suddenly your screen looks like a potassium-powered fireworks show. The extra health is also a nice touch, giving Monkey a bit more stability than you'd expect from a literal monkey with a stick. The only downside? His damage scaling. Once the crit and gold builds start flexing, Monkey falls behind, waving his banana sadly in the distance. Next up is Ogre, the definition of slow start, strong finish. His warrior passive gives him a steady 1% damage boost per level. And trust me, that starts adding up fast. Once you grab duration and size tomes, those spinning axes turn into a blender that shreds everything nearby. He works beautifully with area of effect backups like aura or lightning staff. The problem is, those early minutes are rough. Ogre moves like he's knee-deep in syrup and struggles to collect experience points until you find the right tomes. And without sustain or movement speed items like Beefy Ring or Turbo Socks, he's basically a big green target waiting to get hit. Then we have Ninja, the slick, shadowy speedster that looks way cooler than he sometimes performs. His evasion potential is sky high, and when everything's going right, he feels untouchable. Literally. You'll dash through projectiles, weave between enemies, and feel like an action movie hero. But the illusion breaks the moment you meet certain bosses, especially in Tier 3 Forest. Some of their skills completely ignore evasion, making your best defensive tool useless. Add in the fact that Ninja has to pour most of his points into movement and jump just to stay alive, and your damage scaling ends up suffering. He's thrilling to play, but risky, like juggling knives blindfolded. Noelle, on the other hand, feels like the supportive friend everyone forgets about until things go wrong. She's got the makings of a great healer or tank hybrid, especially when paired with armor regeneration builds. The idea of her standing strong while your team recovers is genuinely appealing. The issue is that she just feels underpowered compared to the flashier, harder hitting characters. You can see the potential, it's there, hiding under layers of needs a buff. If the developers ever give her a bit more scaling or support synergy, she could easily rise to A tier. The B tier roster in general is where creativity shines. You can mix and match builds, experiment with tomes, and actually have fun finding what clicks. These characters don't hand you wins, they make you earn them. But unlike C tier disasters, they reward effort. Play smart, get your synergies right, and you'll find yourself punching above your weight. There's something satisfying about succeeding with these mid-tier picks. When Monkey wall hops through chaos or Ogre finally spins his axes like a Beyblade of doom, you can't help but feel proud. These aren't characters for lazy players, they're for the ones who enjoy the grind, the tweaking, and the aha moments when everything suddenly clicks. If C tier is the struggle zone and A tier is the comfort zone, then B tier is the fun zone. It's where challenge meets possibility. Sure, you'll still get smacked around by unlucky drops or overpowered bosses, but at least you'll look cool doing it. So, next time you load up Megabonk and want to test your skills without going full masochist, give the B tier lineup a try. They won't carry you, but they'll definitely make you earn your spot at the top, and maybe, just maybe, you'll discover a new favorite along the way. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Calcium, Tony McZoom, Sir Oofy, Bush, Birdo, and Armog. Alright, buckle up, because we're stepping into A tier territory, the solid, reliable, fun-to-play zone of Megabonk. These are the characters that won't make you rage quit after 2 waves, but they still demand skill, timing, and a little bit of patience. Think of them as the dependable middle ground between chaotic C/B tier struggles and the almost unfair S tier monsters. Let's kick things off with Calcium, the literal speed demon of Megabonk. His Speed Demon passive is insane when you manage to stay unharmed. It snowballs into top tier damage per second, letting you mow through enemies like a caffeinated blender. Turbo skates or speed-based on-hit builds make him even more ridiculous, turning the battlefield into a blur of bones and kicks. The catch: hit him once and that speed resets, punishing even the slightest mistake. High skill floor, high reward. If you can master him, it's pure chaos fun. Next up is Tony McZoom, who might just be Calcium's most mobile rival. He starts with insane speed and a weapon called Better Bone that makes him a mobility machine. No full damage and projectile count tomes? Yes, please. Tony can dash, weave and fly through arenas like a pro parkour cat. Still, he doesn't hit quite as hard in crit or gold scaling as some S-tier legends, and his quirky movement tricks might take a while to master. But once you do, Tony McZoom feels like you've hacked the game's physics. Sir Ufi brings the tank energy we all secretly love. His armor scaling makes him forgiving for newcomers, while his natural affinity for lifesteal, armor, and HP regeneration builds lets him shrug off mistakes like a true knight. In early waves, you can plow through enemies and feel unstoppable. The downside: late game, Sir Ufi's damage can feel a bit underwhelming if you haven't geared him with AoE items. Still, his staying power makes him a fantastic pick when you want a more methodical approach. Then there's Amog, a character who's all about sneaky sustained damage. Pair him with poison and lifesteal combos, think moldy cheese plus overpowered lamp, and he becomes a boss shredding machine. Black hole plus poison flask, instant chaos. Early waves, however, can be a pain because his bottle throw range is short, and without the right items, he can struggle to reach maximum effectiveness. Timing and positioning are key if you want to see Amog's full potential shine. Bush is basically the explosive precision artist of Megabonk. His bullseye passive triggers explosions that can delete both packs and bosses in seconds. Combine that with precision or crit focused tomes and you've got a walking demolition squad. The challenge? Manual aiming is everything. Miss your shot and you miss the explosion, making him a high risk, high reward type of character that's incredibly satisfying when you get it right. Now let's talk Birdo, the aerial virtuoso. Starting with a double jump and optional glide, Birdo offers unmatched aerial mobility. Her tornado weapon, when paired with crit and size builds, can dominate crowds and deal impressive damage. The trick? She's not plug and play. You need smart crit and size itemization to really hit her stride, and in some leaderboards, she's still a rare sight. Without proper gear, she can feel weak, but when she shines, she really shines. A tier is all about reliability without being overpowered. These characters let you clear content consistently while still giving you room to feel clever and skillful. They reward precision, strategy, and good build planning, and that makes every successful run feel earned. The beauty of A tier is the diversity of playstyles. Calcium and Tony McZoom cater to speed demons, Sir Ufi and Amog appeal to those who love tanks or sustained damage, Bush is for the sharpshooters, and Birdo gives aerial aficionados a chance to dominate the skies. No two A tier runs feel the same, and that keeps the game fresh. You'll notice that while these characters can compete with S tier picks in specific situations, they don't quite break the meta. They require smart itemization, careful positioning, and a little patience, which makes victories feel that much sweeter. A tier also has an element of fun factor. Calcium's speed streaks, Tony's acrobatics, Amog's poison shenanigans, and Birdo's tornado chaos are just plain entertaining. Even if you don't hit perfect DPS, watching them in action makes the grind enjoyable. In short, A tier characters are your dependable, skilled companions. They're not unfairly strong like S tier legends, but they give you the tools to win consistently while still rewarding creativity, precision, and mastery of Megabonk mechanics. So if you want characters that can reliably carry you through content, let you experiment with builds, and still offer plenty of thrills along the way, the A tier lineup is your sweet spot. Play them right and you'll feel like you're dancing on the edge of greatness, without completely breaking the game. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Dicehead, CL4K, Robinetted, and Megachad. Alright, now we're entering the S tier, the big leagues of Megabonk. These are the characters that basically rewrite the leaderboard meta and turn late game runs into downright ridiculous chaos. If you're chasing high scores or just love feeling like an unstoppable force, this is where you want to be. Let's kick things off with Dicehead, widely considered the most broken character in the game. His dice weapon is a crit machine that grows stronger the longer you play, letting you stack insane synergies with curse-heavy or pure crit builds. Once everything clicks, Dicehead becomes overpowered to the point where enemies practically wave a white flag. The catch? The early game can be brutal if your luck isn't cooperating. You need time to stack those crits, so patience is key before you unleash full chaos. Next up is CL4NK, the revolver-wielding terror with a crit happens passive that makes every level feel like a mini power spike. Pair him with damage, crit damage, and attack speed tomes, or items like overpowered lamp or gym source, and you're basically dealing god-tier late-game damage. His shield adds a layer of safety for risky shrine runs, which is essential because CL4NK is painfully slow and fragile at the start. Careful planning with shrines and items is mandatory if you want to hit full crit potential. Winging it will just make you cry. Then there's Robinette, the precision archer who turns gold hoarding into pure power. Her bow delivers steady piercing damage, while the Stonk's passive lets her snowball both damage and gold the longer you hoard coins. She scales incredibly well with XP, damage, attack speed, and quantity tomes, and pairs perfectly with AoE backups like Aura, Bone, or Lightning Staff. The downside? Overspend too early and her start feels painfully slow. Shrine control and consistent item drops are a must to hit her late game peak. Mega Chad is basically the embodiment of raw explosive power. His aura can nuke entire packs once you invest in size and cooldown upgrades, and his flex passive gives clutch invulnerability windows and stuns that can swing fights instantly. The only thing holding him back is mobility. Early dodging is tough until his defenses and aura scaling kick in. But once he's rolling, Mega Chad turns arenas into a one-man demolition crew. The beauty of S tier is that these characters aren't just strong, they're fun to master. Dicehead's crit combos, C4NK's calculated revolver shots, Robinette's snowballing gold power, and Mega Chad's raw nuke potential all feel incredibly satisfying when played right. While A and B tier characters reward skill and creativity, S tier rewards optimization. You need perfect timing, smart itemization, and careful synergy planning to truly dominate. Every decision counts, and the payoff is massive. Early game with these characters can be punishing, which is why so many players fall in love with the grind to glory journey. Patience pays off, and seeing these characters fully scaled is borderline cinematic chaos. S tier isn't just about power. It's about control. Managing crit stacks, shrine positioning, AoE backups, and timing passives like Flex or Stonks is what separates a good player from a leaderboard legend. In short, if you're looking to push Megabonk to its limits, S tier is where the magic happens. These characters dominate leaderboards, decimate late game content, and make every run feel like a symphony of mayhem, as long as you've got the patience and skill to orchestrate it. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.